education.
Trump-Melania digital coins rattle the crypto industry.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Glassdoor, announcing the best places to work in 2025 based on anonymous reviews from real employees. See who's hiring at Glassdoor.com. And by Schwab. Schwab offers investors choices like full-service wealth management, self-directed investing options, and trading on Thinkorswim. More at Schwab.com.
I'm David Brancaccio. First, there is the power of the president, and there's the power of the courts. President Trump has used his first days to try to remake government and society. In some cases, the president will have the powers he assumes. In other cases, coming lawsuits will show he does not. For instance, the ability of federal agencies to carry out administration plans will be shaped by a Supreme Court decision overturning what's called Chevron deference. Let's bring in my colleagues, Kimberly Adams with Sabri Benishore. Sabri?
So Chevron deference was the idea that whenever there is a debate over a regulation, something unclear about it, a court should give deference to the federal agency involved in interpreting it. Give the federal agency the benefit of the doubt. Remind us why the Supreme Court rolled that whole thing back.
So opponents of this idea had been complaining for a long time that federal agencies were overreaching in their rules and regulations and effectively doing the work of Congress. And in a series of cases, the Supreme Court agreed. So now when there's a disagreement over some federal agency's policy, the deference is supposed to go to the court's interpretation of whatever law was being used to justify the regulation rather than the agency's interpretation.
Now, this move was celebrated by conservatives at the time, but now it is a conservative administration that's in charge of these agencies. So is this a good thing for the Trump administration?
Potentially. I've talked to several conservative lawyers and economists who see the ruling along with the administration friendly to regulatory rollbacks as a good combination. Devin Watkins is an attorney at the Competitive Enterprise Institute.
We're now looking and trying to decide exactly how much power these agencies have to interpret things, and for interpretations that the agencies have had in the past, how many of those are actually valid.
With the idea that past regulations that may be on shaky ground post-Chevron could get struck down in court. This has come up a lot in the context of the planned Department of Government Efficiency.
This shift in policy, this end to the deference given to a government agency, that could work against the Trump administration, right?
Right. I mean, just like old regulations can be challenged, so can new ones. Neil Chilson is head of AI policy at the Abundance Institute, which is a think tank focused on technology and innovation.
In areas with big rulemaking agencies. And so if you think EPA, Department of Energy, transportation, and telecommunications, those are probably the big spaces where the courts will apply a less deferential approach.
So we may see opponents of new rules and regulations coming out of the Trump White House deploy this tool as well to get a court to limit the reach of what these agencies can do without Congress under Trump.
Marketplace senior Washington correspondent Kimberly Adams, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
California lawmakers have approved a big package of state money to respond to the wildfires. President Trump is due to view some of the damage today amid questions about how the administration might put new conditions on federal aid. Marketplace's Nova Safo has details.
Nearly all of the $2.5 billion is destined for the ongoing emergency response in Southern California, including sheltering survivors and debris removal. The funds are a down payment for what's expected to be a far larger final bill. Insured losses alone are estimated in the tens of billions of dollars. The federal government right now is picking up the full tab for the emergency response under a directive from now former President Biden. But eventually, the state will send receipts for reimbursement of rebuilding expenses, and that's when it will need President Trump's cooperation. Trump has made a series of statements criticizing state and local officials, and it's an open question as to how much aid the state will receive down the line. I'm Nova Safo for Marketplace.
The emerging Trump business environment is getting credit for bumping up stocks. The S&P 500 index closed at a record high yesterday. S&P futures this morning are down 0.2%. The continued strength of the U.S. economy, plus the possible inflation that could come with, say, tariffs, are also contributing to higher interest rates. The average 30-year fixed mortgage is up at 7.12%.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Bitwarden Password Manager. Setting up a new device can be a piece of cake with Bitwarden, designed to secure logins across all accounts and devices. Learn more at bitwarden.com. And by Progressive Insurance with Snapshot. Learn more about Snapshot at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
Just before inauguration, President Trump and First Lady Melania released digital coins bearing their names. These have gone up in value by billions, at least on paper, riding the winds of the online vibe. At a time the crypto industry is striving for mainstream legitimacy, these meme coins could bolster the view that crypto is a risky toy. Marketplace's Samantha Fields reports.
Ever since the Trumps launched their own meme coins, Bina Ramamurthy at the University of Buffalo says everyone she knows has been coming up to her asking, what is happening? What is this?
A meme coin is like your collector's baseball card or Pokemon card or something like that. So it's a digital version of a collector's item.
You might buy a meme coin because you think it could end up being valuable. But Ryan Rasmussen at the crypto asset manager Bitwise says mostly,
these are items that you buy because you want to participate in the moment rather than buying them to, grow or store your wealth over the long term.
Meme coins are highly volatile, and he says they're not something to buy as an investment the way you might with Bitcoin.
It's really important for people to only play with meme coins with money that they're willing to lose.
When the Trumps launched their own coins just before the inauguration, Rasmussen says some in the crypto industry thought,
this was more taking advantage of the technology to enrich themselves and taking advantage perhaps of those that don't understand the difference between meme coins and Bitcoins.
At the same time, he says the president having his own coin has also brought a lot of attention to crypto and gotten a lot of people to buy it for the first time, which are positives. Ari Redboard at the blockchain intelligence company TRM Labs says he thinks ultimately this will be good for the industry, but
there are some serious players within the crypto ecosystem that would just rather see a focus on a strategic Bitcoin reserve or legal clarity or ensuring that regulators are supportive of innovation in the space,
rather than launching meme coins. I'm Samantha Fields for Marketplace.
And I'm David Brancaccio. You're listening to the Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.